In a galaxy far from Earth, a rich alien aristocrat, Lady Zynara of the Krolathian Empire, adopts a human orphan named Ethan as a diplomatic gesture to foster relations between their species. However, what begins as a political move evolves into a deep bond that challenges the very fabric of Krolathian society. Lady Zynara, known for her rigid adherence to tradition, finds herself questioning the inequities of her world as Ethan's innocent yet insightful perspective reveals the flaws in their societal structure. Their journey together leads to a revolution in Krolathian law, championing equality and compassion, ultimately transforming both their lives and the future of the Krolathian Empire. And so, the story begins. Lady Zynara stood in the grand hall of the Krolathian embassy on Earth, her sharp eyes scanning the rows of human children. The adoption was a calculated move, a way to foster relations between her species and humans. Her gaze settled on a small boy with unruly brown hair and curious blue eyes. His name was Ethan. The selection process was swift. Ethan, bewildered and clutching his small bag of belongings, was whisked away to Zynara's spaceship. As the ship ascended, Ethan pressed his face against the window, eyes wide at the sight of Earth shrinking below. He turned to Zynara, who watched him with a mix of curiosity and detachment. Upon arrival at Zynara's mansion, Ethan's culture shock was immediate. The mansion was an opulent blend of advanced technology and alien aesthetics. The vibrant flora and fauna in the surrounding gardens were unlike anything Ethan had ever seen. The cold, metallic feel of Krolathian technology contrasted sharply with the warmth of the mansion's intricate decorations. Zynara introduced Ethan to the household staff, who greeted him with a mix of curiosity and reservation. Ethan's wide-eyed exploration of the mansion led him to ask endless questions about the alien devices and customs. Zynara found herself both amused and startled by his inquisitiveness. Their first public appearance together was at a gala, a significant societal event. Whispers followed them, Krolathian elites gossiping about Zynara's decision to adopt a human. Skepticism and concern were evident in their eyes. Zynara held her head high, determined to prove her choice was wise. Ethan's first encounter with advanced Krolathian technology was both daunting and fascinating. He marveled at the floating holograms and voice-activated systems. His attempts to understand and interact with the technology showcased his ingenuity and adaptability, impressing some of the staff. Later that evening, Zynara found Ethan in the Grand Library, staring at a projection of Earth. She sat beside him, offering comfort and reassurance. She explained Krolathian customs and the purpose behind her decision to adopt him. Ethan listened intently, his initial fear giving way to a budding sense of security. As the days passed, Ethan's resilience and adaptability became apparent. He navigated the new environment with growing confidence, though he still felt out of place. Zynara, too, found herself questioning her decision less as she grew fond of Ethan's earnest nature. Ethan's first day at the Krolathian educational institution was filled with anticipation and anxiety. The sleek, smooth surfaces of the school's interior and the strange, musical language of the Krolathian children made him feel even more like an outsider. He walked into his classroom, where curious and hostile eyes followed him. A misunderstanding in class quickly highlighted the cultural and language barriers. Ethan's attempts to communicate were met with confusion and laughter. The teacher, unfamiliar with human customs, struggled to integrate him into the lesson. Zynara was called to a meeting with the school's administration, where she defended Ethan fiercely, showcasing her protective instincts. During recess, Ethan sat alone until a Krolathian girl named Leora approached him. She offered a tentative smile and introduced herself. Their first conversation was halting, but it marked the beginning of a significant friendship. Leora's acceptance and open-mindedness provided Ethan with a much-needed ally. Back at the mansion, Zynara began to question the rigid educational norms of Krolathian society. She saw the struggles Ethan faced and wondered if the system needed reform. That evening, Ethan shared his day's experiences with her. He showcased a small invention he made for a class project, which impressed both his peers and teachers. Zynara and Ethan's heart-to-heart talk that night deepened their bond. They discussed their different worlds, and Zynara found herself increasingly empathetic towards Ethan's plight. She realized that the challenges he faced were not just his own but a reflection of the broader societal issues in Krolathian culture. Ethan's growing confidence and bravery became evident as he continued to navigate the school environment. He began to stand up for himself, earning the respect of some of his classmates. Leora's presence as a friend helped bridge the cultural gap, showing the other children that acceptance was possible. Despite the hostility and prejudice he faced, Ethan found moments of joy and discovery. His ingenuity shone through in class projects, where he combined human and Krolathian ideas to create innovative solutions. These moments of success bolstered his self-esteem and helped him find his place in the school. Zynara, too, found herself increasingly invested in Ethan's well-being. Her protective instincts grew stronger, and she began to see him not just as a diplomatic tool, but as a child she cared deeply for. The challenges they faced together only strengthened their bond. Ethan stood nervously at the edge of the playground, watching as the Krolathian children played their intricate games. He felt out of place, the only human among a sea of alien faces. But he was determined to fit in. Drawing on his memories of Earth, he decided to introduce a simple game from his childhood tag. The rules were easy to explain, and soon enough, laughter and excitement filled the air as the children embraced the new game. Ethan's initiative quickly gained popularity, with children eagerly playing tag during every break. This newfound acceptance brought him a sense of belonging he had longed for. However, Zynara faced backlash from conservative factions within Krolathian society. Her progressive views and actions were met with disdain, and whispers of dissent grew louder. She was accused of diluting Krolathian culture and traditions. The backlash was intense, and Zynara found herself defending her choices more fervently than ever. One afternoon, Leora invited Ethan to her home, marking a significant cultural exchange. Her family welcomed him warmly, eager to learn about his world. Ethan shared stories about Earth, his eyes lighting up with excitement. This visit deepened their friendship and bridged cultural gaps, showcasing the possibility of harmonious coexistence. Zynara decided to take Ethan to a grand Krolathian festival. The event was a vibrant display of music, dance, and traditional foods. Ethan marveled at the festivities, his senses overwhelmed by the rich, earthy aroma of the food, the vibrant colors of the decorations, and the rhythmic beats of the music. His unique perspective and innocent wonder caught the attention of an influential council member who saw potential in the cultural exchange. As Zynara began forming alliances with other progressive thinkers, her vision for a more inclusive society started taking shape. She saw Ethan and Leora working together on a school project, blending human and Krolathian ideas seamlessly. Their teamwork showcased the benefits of cultural integration and innovation. During a public forum, Zynara made a passionate speech advocating for inclusivity and the benefits of cultural exchange. Her words resonated with many, and she gained support from progressive factions within society. The forum ended with a sense of hope and the promise of change. Ethan's leadership and creativity continued to shine. He initiated new activities and games, further integrating himself into Krolathian society. His bond with Zynara grew stronger, and he began seeing her not just as a guardian but as a mentor and role model. The journey was not without its challenges. Zynara faced opposition from conservative leaders who resisted change. One old friend confronted her, expressing disappointment and disapproval. The tension was palpable, but Zynara stood her ground, resolute in her belief that change was necessary for progress. Despite the conflicts, the support from progressive thinkers solidified Zynara's stance. The societal changes were slow but steady, and the growing acceptance of Ethan was a testament to their efforts. They began to see hints of larger societal changes on the horizon, indicating that the movement for inclusivity would continue to grow. The calm of a typical Krolathian day was shattered by the sudden blare of alarms. An emergency crisis had struck the heart of the Krolathian Empire. A massive storm threatened to devastate the main city, and chaos ensued. Ethan watched in horror as the skies darkened, and the wind howled fiercely. Ethan's quick thinking and unique perspective became invaluable. He suggested using simple earth techniques to fortify structures and protect people. His ideas, though initially met with skepticism, quickly proved effective. His resourcefulness helped save lives and mitigate damage, showcasing his potential as a changemaker. Zynara's leadership was put to the test. She coordinated the response with precision, her strength and resilience shining through. She made quick decisions, directed emergency teams, and ensured the safety of her people. The crisis revealed underlying societal flaws, prompting reflection and criticism of the rigid systems in place. As the storm subsided, the aftermath revealed the extent of the damage. Buildings were in ruins, and the community was in disarray. But amid the devastation, a sense of unity and solidarity emerged. Ethan and Zynara's bond deepened as they navigated the crisis together, providing mutual support and comfort. The council member who had been impressed by Ethan at the festival became an advocate for major reforms. The crisis had highlighted the need for change, and public opinion began to shift in favor of inclusivity and reform. Ethan's actions had a profound impact, influencing public perception and garnering support for progressive ideals. Zynara, however, faced personal attacks from conservative factions. Her decisions during the crisis were scrutinized, and she became a target of criticism. Despite the challenges, she remained resolute and determined, her commitment to change unwavering. The aftermath of the crisis served as a catalyst for broader societal changes. Discussions of reform grew louder, and the movement for inclusivity gained momentum. Zynara and Ethan found themselves at the forefront of this movement, their journey together symbolizing the potential for a better future. Lady Zynara stood at the heart of the Grand Council chamber, her voice unwavering as she proposed new laws to the Krolathian Council. The changes were designed to formalize inclusivity and equality, reflecting the values she and Ethan had come to embody. Heated debates erupted immediately, the chamber buzzing with animated discussions. Conservative factions argued vehemently against the proposals, fearing a dilution of Krolathian tradition. Ethan watched from the gallery, his heart pounding. This was more than just a political debate, it was about their future. Zynara's alliances were tested as political pressures mounted. Ethan had never spoken in public before, but he knew he had to make his voice heard. Gathering his courage, he stepped forward to address the council. He shared his experiences, highlighting the positive changes he had witnessed and the potential for a better future. Public rallies both for and against the new laws surged through the streets. The divided opinion was palpable. Zynara's words resonated with many, but the opposition was fierce. Amidst this turmoil, Ethan and Leora organized a peaceful demonstration, gathering their classmates and other supporters. Their demonstration was a testament to the growing support for inclusivity among the younger generation. As the pivotal vote on the proposed laws loomed, tension and stakes increased. Unexpectedly, a former adversary of Zynara's approached her, offering support. This ally's influence was crucial, swaying several undecided council members. The final debate before the vote was intense, with arguments and negotiations reflecting the complexities of the legislative process. Ethan's confidence in public speaking grew as he continued to advocate for change. He shared personal anecdotes, touching the hearts of many and showing the importance of systemic change. Zynara's evolution as a political leader became evident, her rhetorical skills and vision inspiring hope. The council chamber's imposing architecture, with its high ceilings and ornate decorations, added to the gravity of the situation. The buzz of discussions filled the room, the scent of official documents and ink a subtle reminder of the bureaucratic process. The taste of tension lingered in the air, reflecting the high stakes of the legislative battle. Finally, the votes were cast. The chamber fell silent as the results were tallied. Initial victories were achieved, setting the stage for more battles ahead. The progress was significant, but the challenges were far from over. The potential for further societal upheaval and the difficulties of implementing the new laws became clear. The celebration of their initial legislative victories was short-lived. A violent protest erupted, showcasing the fierce resistance to change. Zynara and Ethan found themselves facing personal threats, their advocacy putting them in direct danger. The opposition was not just political, it was deeply personal and intensely hostile. Leora's family, known for their support of Ethan, was targeted. Vandalism and threats marked their home, highlighting the personal cost of their stance. The council member who had supported the reforms faced immense pressure to withdraw, reflecting the intense political landscape. Zynara strengthened security around her mansion, transforming it into a fortified refuge. The cold, metallic feel of security barricades and fortifications contrasted sharply with the warm, welcoming atmosphere that once pervaded their home. The sound of angry chants and shouts from protesters created a tense atmosphere, the sight of graffiti and vandalism on public buildings reflecting societal division. Ethan witnessed the darker side of Krolathian society, deepening his understanding of the stakes. The acrid smell of smoke and tear gas in the air was a constant reminder of the violence. Despite his fear, he remained determined, his resolve growing stronger. An unexpected ally emerged to help protect Zynara and Ethan. This show of solidarity and support was a beacon of hope amidst the chaos. Together they devised a strategy to counter the backlash, planning their next steps meticulously. The threats and violence tested Zynara's protective instincts and strategic thinking. Her commitment to change remained unwavering, even as she faced direct danger. Ethan's internal struggle with fear was palpable, but his sense of justice and belonging drove him to stand strong. Zynara's reassurances to Ethan and Leora were a source of comfort, her protective instincts showcasing her deep care for them. Strategic discussions with their ally helped them plan a measured response to the backlash, aiming to navigate the ongoing challenges and resistance. The cost of progress was high, but their resolve was stronger. They knew that future confrontations with the opposition were inevitable, but they were prepared to face them. The ongoing conflict highlighted the importance of perseverance and the strength of their commitment to change. The aftermath of the violent protest left Zynara and Ethan more determined than ever. They began to build a coalition of support, reaching out to allies and neutral parties. Zynara's unexpected ally, a former adversary, revealed a personal stake in the reforms, deepening their commitment to the cause. The allies' involvement added complexity to the movement, showcasing the diverse motivations behind the push for change. Ethan played a crucial role in planning a major rally for equality and inclusivity. The excited chatter and energy of the preparations filled the air. Bright, colorful signs and banners were created, adding visual vibrancy to the event. The scent of food and drinks being prepared for the rally created a festive atmosphere, contrasting with the serious purpose of their gathering. The tactile feel of pamphlets and rally materials reflected the grassroots nature of their movement. Leora mobilized the youth, showcasing the importance of younger generations in the fight for change. Her efforts brought together a diverse group of supporters, each eager to contribute. Ethan used his human ingenuity to solve a critical problem for the rally, ensuring that their message would be broadcasted to the widest audience possible. His resourcefulness and leadership skills shone through, earning him admiration and respect. As the rally day approached, a betrayal within the council was uncovered. An influential member had been working against them, feeding information to the opposition. The internal political struggle added tension to an already high-stakes situation. Zynara and Ethan had to navigate this betrayal carefully, ensuring that their plans were not derailed. On the day of the rally, Zynara stood before the crowd, her voice amplified over the sea of attendees. She gave a stirring speech, galvanizing support and inspiring those present. Her charisma and ability to inspire were evident, reflecting her growth as a leader. The rally's success strengthened their cause, showing the power of unity and collective action. However, just as the rally reached its peak, a surprise announcement from the Krolathian leader changed the game. The leader acknowledged the movement's impact but introduced new challenges and opportunities. This announcement added a layer of complexity to their efforts, suggesting that the fight for change was far from over. The final vote on the proposed laws was approaching, and the tension was palpable. Intense lobbying and last-minute negotiations took place, with both sides working tirelessly to sway undecided council members. Zynara and Ethan found themselves in the thick of it, their determination unwavering despite the mounting pressure. A major scandal threatened to derail the movement. Allegations of corruption and misconduct surfaced, casting doubt on the legitimacy of their efforts. The opposition seized this opportunity to undermine their cause, spreading misinformation and fear. Ethan, however, discovered crucial evidence that turned the tide. His resourcefulness and quick thinking proved invaluable, as the evidence not only cleared their names but also implicated key figures in the opposition. Zynara confronted her most powerful adversary, a conservative council member who had been a staunch opponent of the reforms. Their confrontation was intense, highlighting the deep-seated conflict between their visions for the future. The council member's dramatic speech swayed several undecided voters, but Zynara's rebuttal was equally compelling. Her passion and commitment to justice resonated with many, showcasing her unwavering determination and leadership. Just as the vote was about to take place, Zynara's home was attacked. The smell of sweat and nerves filled the air as security forces repelled the intruders. The taste of fear and determination lingered, reflecting the high stakes of the situation. Despite the immediate danger, Zynara and Ethan's resolve was tested and strengthened. Ethan and Leora rallied their supporters for one last push, mobilizing final support in the streets and across the city. Their efforts were crucial, ensuring that public opinion remained firmly in favor of the proposed laws. The sound of last-minute campaign ads and speeches filled the air, adding to the tension. In the council chamber, the atmosphere was electric. The feel of paper ballots and electronic voting devices added a tangible sense of importance to the proceedings. As the votes were cast, the room fell silent. The results were announced, and the final vote passed, securing a victory for their cause. The culmination of their fight for justice and equality was met with both relief and determination. They knew that the challenges of implementing the new laws would be significant, but their success in the legislative battle marked a turning point. The movement had achieved a major milestone, setting the stage for a new era in Krolathian society. Celebrations erupted across the Krolathian Empire as the new laws were officially implemented. The streets were filled with joyous sounds of cheers and music, a stark contrast to the tension that had preceded the final vote. The bright, festive decorations that adorned every corner added to the celebratory atmosphere, with banners and lights creating a visual spectacle. The sweet smell of celebratory foods and drinks wafted through the air, inviting everyone to partake in the festivities. Zynara and Ethan stood at the heart of the celebrations, receiving widespread recognition and praise for their roles in achieving this monumental change. Zynara's satisfaction and hope for the future were evident as she reflected on the journey that had brought them here. She had grown immensely, transforming from a traditionalist to a progressive leader. Her decision to adopt Ethan had not only changed his life, but also reshaped the entire Krolathian society. Leora's family, who had faced threats and hostility for their support of Ethan, now found a new sense of safety and acceptance. The societal changes were profound, and the newfound inclusivity was felt by everyone who had championed the cause. Leora's pride in her role in the movement was palpable, and she stood by Ethan's side, sharing in the triumph. Ethan, too, was beginning a new chapter in his life. His sense of belonging and purpose was stronger than ever as he embarked on a journey of education that blended human and Krolathian knowledge. The tactile experience of handshakes and hugs from well-wishers reminded him of the connections he had forged and the support he had garnered. The taste of victory and hope was sweet, reflecting the positive outcomes of their struggles. A grand ceremony was held to honor those who had supported the movement. The council member who had stood by Zynara and Ethan through the toughest times was given special recognition. During the ceremony, the council member offered Zynara a prestigious role in the new government, reflecting her leadership and the trust the people had in her vision. As the celebrations continued, Zynara and Ethan found a moment of quiet reflection. They discussed their future plans and aspirations, considering how they could continue to contribute to their evolving society. The dialogue between them was filled with words of congratulations and gratitude, recognizing the growth and impact of their journey. Reflective conversations about the past and hopeful discussions about the future set the stage for ongoing efforts and new challenges. Despite the triumphs, Zynara was acutely aware of the challenges that lay ahead in implementing the new laws. She knew that resistance would still exist, and ongoing efforts would be necessary to ensure the changes took root. Ethan, too, faced an internal struggle with his newfound fame. The pressures and responsibilities of his role were significant, but his sense of belonging and purpose provided him with the strength to navigate them. Interpersonal conflicts with those resistant to change were inevitable, but the resolve of Zynara, Ethan, and their allies remained unshaken. The broad societal changes were just beginning, and the journey towards a fully inclusive and equitable Krolathian society would continue. The thematic element of the dawn of a new era was evident in every aspect of the celebrations. The enduring power of change and the importance of perseverance and hope were underscored by the joyful atmosphere and the sense of accomplishment that permeated the air. As the festivities drew to a close, the lingering taste of victory and the vibrant memories of the celebrations reminded Zynara and Ethan of their achievements. The hints at future challenges and opportunities suggested that their work was far from over, but the foundation they had built was strong and promising.